It had the tower too, right?
Oh, dude, the Tower of Volney and the Lagdo
Mm-hmm.
Ruins. I feel like those could be really good modes in Fire Emblem Heroes because,
Yeah.
okay, Fire Emblem 8 has a whole bunch of demon enemies. Like you fight the Cyclopses and the Cerberuses and the gargoyles and stuff. Why not have a mode in Fire Emblem Heroes where we're fighting the monsters? Hey, what's poppin', sexies? It's your boy here, back for some more Aether Raids goodness. And today on the channel, we have another very special guest. Everybody give a nice warm shout out to KCB Brian, a YouTuber that I've actually wanted to do a collab with for quite some time, because we are the trailer boys. Anytime there's a trailer up, it's always me and him, Speedy Hawk, and Guardian E getting it to you as soon as we can. So, KCB, how you doing, man?
You know what? I'm out here living. I'm thriving, in fact.
Yeah.
Just living my best life in the only way I know how, which is Faye collabs. Right here, right now.
Yeah, I actually saw your collab. You did one with Promise earlier. I think it was like last month or so. And she helped you build a defense team because I believe you only use the auto create to make defenses. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was. Anytime I would live stream, it was always like a running joke for me and my viewers. And I was like, you know what? Let's break this, because I had never done a collab before that. In I think the 3 years I've been covering Faye stuff. I was like, you know what? Promise does like daily ether raid stuff. I bet she knows what's up.
Yeah.
I just had her come out. I was like, hey, I'm gonna basically trick you into doing all of the work for me right now, if that's cool. Because I don't do a darn thing in ether raids, but yeah, I don't know, man. Auto create got me every other week in vault, and I was like, that's good enough for me. I don't wanna think too much about this mode. Early ether raids days were dope.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
once,
I loved it.
I think probably 5 months in, I was like, oh, okay, this is too much for me. I can't
Yeah.
do this anymore.
It does get a little overwhelming. Just for fun, I'm gonna see what the auto create recommends my defense be.
Hey, that's a good squad.
Let's
Look
see
at that.
here. Okay, so we have Thracer. It's a bonus week for her, so she is like probably the ideal choice for the auto create. Then we have Saros. We have
Love her.
Elliewood, Legendary Tiki, Corin, Rolf. Oh, why would they choose Rolf? Actually, that's kind of weird.
Who wouldn't choose Rolf? I think that's...
I guess it might be because he has the highest merge out of my characters that have this particular blessing. That's the only thing I can think of. And then Legendary Julia. Interesting. Wow, that's... Okay, I don't know. Like, they don't play structures either when you do auto create, so...
No.
Honestly, it seems like a crapshoot, to be honest. I don't know.
It is, yeah.
I don't know if this is going to be effective at all, but just to, like, see how the auto create works, I guess there you go. Okay, so my defense is a little bit more try-hardy, I regret to say. I'm running the Cav line. Well, this isn't the one that I was running. Let's go to the one I have this season. Okay, so I have a 4-lane Cav line. I have Witchy Wand on the baby Larichel to sort of have a matchup against Ascended Fiorm where I can lock out her Ice Mirror. Then we have the Winter Lysithia. We got the Ascended Lake Jarn and Corin. So it's been doing all right. Let's take a look at these defenses. Okay, so for today we have 1 success and then 1 loss. It was actually a rematch by one of the guys I fought yesterday, I'm assuming. So pretty good stuff. All right, this first success came before the lift loss control ran out, so luckily I was saved the embarrassment of losing lift there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this replay, and in the meantime, while we're letting this run, I know KCB is actually more specialized in doing banner predictions and things of that nature, so we do actually have a new Heroes banner coming up very soon. I would like to hear what you have to say about that. What are your thoughts?
Oh god, the new Heroes banner?
Yeah.
You know, February's always been kind of weird. Like, for a while it was nice because January we were like, oh, we're getting, Radiant Dawn or Tellius. right? Because January was like the Beast banner month for like the longest time.
Yeah.
And then they stopped doing that.
Yeah.
So now it's been a little less predictable, which is it's hard. It's hard on these streets, man.
Yeah.
I gotta like think now, which is wild.
Yeah, I remember that they were very predictable. They had like almost like a set of rules, unwritten rules that they always went by, and then eventually they just phased out of it and started throwing curveballs at us.
Yeah, it was like a rotation guideline almost. And I miss that. I miss those days. I guess, this isn't February, but pro tip for you gamers out there, probably getting a Three Houses banner in March.
Yeah,
so
that would make
sense. Save up your orbs.
Yeah,
we're going to be on Byleth Burnout by the time September rolls around, I guarantee it.
Oh, for sure. We're also getting that new Warriors game, which is Three Houses themed.
Oh, yeah. That's a banner that's going to happen, which... Like, I'm so happy about that, but I'm also kind of, like, partially bummed that it's not. Like, I just want Ike. I want Ike in a Warriors game, man. That's all I want. And they just keep teasing me. And it's mean at this point.
Yeah, you and me both, man. I played, like, the first Warriors game, I was legit only in it because I was hoping that Ike was going to be a DLC. And he wasn't. It just makes no sense. Like, how can you possibly have a Fire Emblem Warriors game and not have Ike? It just makes no sense.
He's the king of Ether. What are you people doing over there at IS?
Yeah, for
Come
real.
on.
I want to play as Ike. I want to kill, like, 500 dudes with just him and be a badass. That's what I want.
Right? I want to rage Ether all over the monastery. That's what I want to do. But I can't. And I'm upset about that, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you think he has any chance of being in this one, in Warriors 2?
So, like, I've seen some reports that there's going to be, like, amiibo support.
Oh.
And I know that we used to be able to unlock stuff through amiibo, like characters through amiibos. Like, right. I think Valentia had these weird, like, shadow versions of the amiibo that would pop in or something. So I'm hopeful because, like, a Warriors, for those that don't know, a Warriors game, like, basically you just throw characters in there and it makes no sense, and it's totally fine because you're just beating up a bunch of, like, NPC mobs for, you know, hours on end, and it's just mindless. You can turn your brain off. It's great. I'm hoping that you'll be able to unlock characters through the amiibo, because what's interesting is we have a male Byleth amiibo, but we don't have a female Byleth. And we have a female Byleth currently only being showcased in Warriors 2, Three Houses Boogaloo. So I'm hoping maybe, like, oh, well, if you want to play as male Byleth, just scan your little amiibo, gamer friend, and then you're good to go. And I'm hoping that they will also do that with Ike and, you know, stuff like that. So I've heard also through the amiibo alerts Twitters that they may be doing some kind of, like, reprint of older Smash amiibos too.
I've heard someone commented on one of my videos that there's actually an Ike figurine being made in Japan, and
there is.
This might have nothing to do with anything, but typically when Japan makes figurines, there's always some sort of tie-in to, like, promote it. So if they were doing Ike specifically, that would mean that Ike is going to be in some kind of content down the road so that they can sell the figurine a little better.
Yeah. Are you keyed into the figure sphere?
No, not at all. I just... the only reason I know that is because someone commented.
Oh, bro. Okay. So they had a Lin one come out, like, in the fall of last year. Okay. And then they announced Marth. And then they announced Radiant Ike. And there was a little bit of silence for a while, and then we got a female Byleth announcement last month.
Okay.
And the female Byleth one is coming out later this fall. Coincidence?
Maybe not. That seems pretty suspicious.
I know. That's weird, huh?
Yeah.
So, I think there's maybe a little something to that. It's weird that they would just pull Ike like that.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people were like, oh, there's remake games coming. It's going to be so hype. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then I was like, but that Radiant Ike figure, though, that would have purpose. And I can get on board with that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, maybe they do like a, I don't know, Path of Radiant Dawn remake combo pack thing that everybody seems to think that,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's another possibility, is that they're going to do a remake game where it's 2 games combined into one, and a lot of people are predicting if they do that, it's going to be either like 6 or 7 together, 4 and 5 together, or 9 and 10. And for me, like, out of those options, I think 6 and 7 would work the best, because 6 never got localized officially, and then 7 just has the nostalgia factor, so everyone is like going to be happy with a remake of that. So, like, from a sales perspective, I feel like 6 and 7 would be the best move for them, because, of course, Roy is in Smash, so he has a lot of popularity, and then Lyn and Hector are always going to be popular. So, I think 6 and 7 would probably sell the best. And this is, like, more me being I guess, like a grumpy old fan, like one of the old heads. I don't want to see a Tellius remake yet, because I don't think they're going to be able to do it justice. And Tellius is my favorite game pair out of the series, so if they're going to do it, I want them to do it right, and I want it to be on better hardware than the Switch.
Understandable. And I can respect that. It's like when your favorite gets into Faye, the longer it takes, the better they're going to be. You know? I feel like that's the same way with remakes. It's I don't know if you're terribly keyed in with the Nintendo Direct that happened.
I watched it, yeah.
Did you? Okay. There's a game that got announced called Live Alive.
Yeah.
And it was this Square Enix title back in the day, like in the 90s, that sold like 100,000 copies in Japan or something like that. And Square Enix was like, yeah, it's a flop. And they remade it now in the HD 2D style that like Octopath, and I guess the newest one, Triangle Strategy. They redid it in that making. And what's interesting about that is it's not published by Square Enix in North America. It's published by Nintendo, which is interesting because it's published by Square Enix in Japan. So Nintendo seems to be, and this is why it's important, I was leading up to this. It ties in, I promise. Stay with me, gamers. Live Alive is one of those titles that in Japan they didn't think did very well, which is similar to, what was it, Thracia, I think?
Yeah.
It didn't sell very well. It was like kind of at the end of the life cycle of the current console. And that is why people upsettedly saw Roy getting into Smash Bros. Melee instead of Leaf, which was kind of interesting. But Nintendo seems to be taking notice of these older games that maybe didn't do too well in Japan, but are seeing this kind of like tactical RPG revival happening like over in like North America and Europe and places like that. And they're like, okay, well, we'll publish them for you. Just remake them and we'll publish them over and localize them. So Live Alive is, I think, an important title that's probably flying over a lot of people's heads because it's going to do maybe wonders for other titles that were previously not localized. Like a lot of the Fire Emblem titles, you know, pre-7.
Right.
And I think maybe that will give us hope for some kind of either just like porting them over on the Nintendo eShop, like the Switch Online service or something, or just full-on remakes. Like that would be great too. But I think, I don't know, this may be a turning point because like the Switch is known for just having like ports and remakes and stuff at this point.
Yeah.
I think like they're literally remaking like 50 Mario Kart tracks rather than just putting out a new Mario Kart game. So
yeah,
they're embedded in this idea of like, oh well, we got it now, so we might as well just do that. But yeah, that's wild. Oh, I'm seeing Thor do stuff. That's hype.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So a lot of stuff was covered just now. So okay, where do I begin? So I did watch the Nintendo Direct, and I think you're on the money with what you said about the RPGs, how they're like sort of having this RPG renaissance where they're reviving a lot of old ones to like maybe didn't do that well or have a secret following almost. Like Live Alive was one, and I know Mother 3 is one that people have been asking for ages now, and it almost looked like during the Direct they were going to show off Mother 3, because they showed Earthbound and then they showed the first game. So it almost seemed like they were leading up to that, but then they didn't. So I don't know. Maybe that's still on the table. I have no idea.
I mean, the Earthbound Beginnings was a Satellaview game. Like, what?
Yeah, that's
y'all are porting a Satellaview game? That's wild. Just remake Fire Emblem already, for God's sake. Just port it. Like, what are you guys doing over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was... I too was kind of like, oh, they're leading up to Mother 3. Reggie's gonna come out. It's gonna be a great time. Like, this is what everyone's been waiting for.
Yeah.
And then they hit him with Earthbound Beginnings. It was like, oh, that's a choice too. I respect that. Well done, Nintendo.
I'm trying to like concentrate on the fight and also give commentary, so it's getting.
I know it's hard.
Yeah. Luckily,
you gotta.
Luckily,
what
though,
is this mirror down here?
Yeah. Luckily, though, this fight wasn't particularly that bad, so
we didn't lose anybody either.
I mean,
we're 6v1 right now. That poor Mirabelle's.
Right. I'm trying to get the pots. I had a lot of other points I wanted to make about what you were saying with the Nintendo Direct, but by this point, I've like completely lost my place on that. Okay, regardless, let's see here. I have to get these pots, so I can use Wings of Mercy to jump into Plumeria now, and I also don't want to kill Mirabilis. I feel like her defense is 38. I feel like Fiorm would be able to, like, not kill her yet. Let's see, or... Huh.
How do we get up there?
That's what I'm trying.
I'm just thinking, like, bro, how do we actually get up there? That's dirty, putting pots in the corners like that. Come on now.
There's a couple of things I can do here. It's just that I think I might have to, like, just put Fiorm over here. And then I don't think Fiorm can kill Mirabilis in one hit. I'm going to hit her twice, which is the bad thing. I only have 65 attack. She's taking -2 from the Dark Shrine. So she's going to be at 36. I have 65. That's like, what, 29 damage twice? But then she has color advantage, so it's actually kind of shaky trying to, like, get away with that. I think what I'm probably going to do is, like, see if there's a way to just, like, get all of my units out of here for a second. Like this. And then we can have Thor go for the pots next turn. Alright, so she went that way. That's good. Gives me a little bit more time to work with here.
I respect the Thor play, by the way. Big Thor fan here.
Yeah, Thor, I mean, gotta love the luscious mamas, right?
I'm terribly sad she's not doing as well in the Hero Rises. Or wasn't, at least, during the interim.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted her, and I think that's fair game, because she's a really good mythic hero.
I know. I have a rule. I don't know if you've heard, but as long as it's not in standard pool, I'm good with it. So, like, anything that's limited, basically. Like, vote to your heart content. And Thor was in top 10, so I'm gonna keep it real.
Okay.
I threw every vote I had for her after the interim came out, because I was like, yo, putting Thor up there would be tight. Which I have a +10 already, so it doesn't actually matter for me. But I think other people should be able to experience, you know, the hammer drop the way that I do.
Oh, for sure. Oh, I guess we should talk about that a little, right? The Hero Rises event, because... Okay, so there's a lot of people trying to push for this all-green banner, because we had so many good green units come out the past year. Like, we had Atri, we had Thor, we had the Pirate Hinoka and Camilla, we had the New Year Dagger and Knot, we had Ninja Korin. It was just like, last year was the year of the green. Like, it was like St. Patrick's Day or something. So, what are your thoughts? Like, would you want an all-green banner? Or do you want something else?
So, like, I know statistically, all green would be better, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of sweaty gamers out there who will crunch the numbers for me and tell me that, like, yeah, that those are what we want. We want all green. Me, however, I am notoriously unlucky when it comes to getting any green stones whatsoever in any circle, no matter like how congested it is. So, I don't know. Man, I'm so mixed. Like, that would be cool, because, you know, sniping is also great for content, because it's either really hit or miss.
Yeah.
So, like, that would be pretty great. But at the same time, I'm like, diversity would be cool, too, you know? But, I don't know. Anytime a banner is decided by a voting gauntlet, I kind of, like, shake my head, because I don't really know what to do with myself at that point. Like, I get it. It's a gotcha. But, like, man, does everything have to revolve around RNG in this game? Like, come on, folks. What are we doing here? What is this nonsense?
Yeah, so in that regard, which unit do you think you want to win the most? Like, to get for free?
Oh, man. I'm going to look up and see who was in the interims real quick.
Okay.
Because I don't want to just throw my opinion out haphazardly.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
I know Edelgard was, or Fatalgard rather.
Uh-huh.
Edelgard. She was in the top. She was literally number 1, which is crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people are mad about that too. It's because I think that this happened when Legendary Lyn won as well, because the way that it works on the website is you click on it and then it shows whichever character has the most taps from your
God, so stupid.
From your castle, and of course Fallen Edelgard is going to be at the top because everyone's sparked for her already and we have her. So like I feel like that's kind of a dirty tactic from IS's point of view as well, to like put characters like that like immediately available. You don't have to do any work to find them, so it almost like sways votes in her favor a little.
Yeah, it was the way that they arranged it. I swear they're trying to troll us, because like what was it, year 3? It was like a hunt and find map system where it was like Where's Waldo Faye edition.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
What is? And that's why, like, I don't even remember who was in the top 4 at that point, but they go out of their way to make it overly complicated. And I'm like, dudes, you could literally just reskin the Choose Your Legends like voting system, and that would be it, and people would be familiar with it. It'd be a great time. What are you guys doing? I think I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I think they're genuinely just trying to like mess with us at this point and make it more complicated than it needs to be. But yeah, I don't know. Fallen Edelgard, Ninja Corrin, Sigurd, and Eitri. I should say Legendary Eitri and Legendary Sigurd. They were in the top 4.
Okay.
I think they're pretty much a lock. I think anybody 6 through 8 is fair game. We had Hatari Azura in 5th, and then we had Legendary Male Byleth. We have to designate that now. In 6th, we had Elamine in 7th, and New Year Dagger in 8th, which I was a big proponent of New Year Dagger. Like, I think giving your entire team just, you know, the ability to just walk through all the units on your team is pretty great. You know, you think Pathfinder is pretty nice. So
yeah.
And I think she scores high too. And
she does.
Yeah. So overall, that's just a good unit. The Thor was rounding out the top 10, and then Legendary Claude was in 9th. Who out of this group who I think I would want to win, who would be the most beneficial to everybody?
Yeah.
Probably, God, I mean, Ninja Corrin, Hatari Azura, or New Year Dagger are probably just no brain picks for literally anybody.
Yeah.
They account boost, you know, they're good at what they do.
Yep.
Win buttons.
Yeah. I think that's pretty fair to say as well.
And they're all green.
Yeah, I
Which
really
is great.
like at this point. I kind of want the all green banner, because if we get the all green banner, it's actually going to be the best banner the game has ever had, because we're going to have all of these crazy possible units you could get as focuses, and your chances of getting a 5-star, if there's 4 focus green units, just shoots through the roof. So for sniping colors, you're going to have a really good chance to actually pick up merges or pick up a new hero or anything like that. There's going to be a spark, too, for everybody, not just Faye Pass owners. So, like, it works out really well if the banner turns out to be all green. And not only that, we've had, like, countless amazing green units released. So it's going to just be a really good time if that happens.
You know what would be hilarious?
Yeah, go ahead.
If they found out that the all green banner was like busted, and so next year they come up with this rule that's like, oh, we're gonna take the top 2 colors of the thing, and then we're gonna have 2 colors for each in the voting gauntlet, and then the banner will be comprised of the top winning unit in each color, and then we'll have a 1x1x1x1 banner. Just because, color stacking is too OP.
Yeah. Oh,
I could see them doing that.
I kind of feel like I goofed this one up.
No, you got this, man. I believe in you.
Nah. Well, like Oter, well, he doesn't have an A skill. That's really awkward. But Oter actually beats my Surtur here. So, let's see. I mean, maybe not. Let's find out.
Props to using Surtur, by the way.
Yeah, nobody has this guy, and he's like one of the best units in the game, so...
Well, speaking of predictions, I have a double special prediction banner coming out soon.
Okay.
I don't know, Monday or something? I don't know when. No. Monday is Valentine's Day. Happy early Valentine's Day. Tuesday, I think, is when that comes out. Surtur should be on blue color share with Duo Sothis.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So, like, if you, dear viewer, watching this right now, are like, man, I wish I could do sick bonfires with Pirate Surtur, you may be able to very soon.
Oh, we just got clapped by Crom and his assist. Okay. Oh, yeah, I figured...
186.
I figured something like that was going to happen, because I was trying to go at it from, like, 2 different directions. So, yeah, usually when you run save skills, you want to just ball your units up in a nice little square at the bottom or something. But
well, some might consider it an honor to get boomed by the boys,
Yeah, okay, so we have, let's see here. I still have plenty of ladders left, so let's go ahead and pop one there. Oh, another thing I wanted to talk to you about, actually, is the Choose Your Legends event. I think you gave a push to Adult Tiki, and she ended up winning the female division, so what was up with that? Like, tell me why you wanted Adult Tiki so much. Let's hear it.
Alright, so, like, back in November, I want to say, maybe December, I don't remember at this point, I made a video where I was going through looking at last year's Choose Your Legends results. And I was like, man, this is kind of boring, Like, no shame. Like, this is not a shade comment. Okay, I'm not out here trying to shame anybody.
Yeah.
I like a Choose Your Legends event that's like really diverse.
Okay.
And I feel like it's the top 10s in the last 2 years, not counting 6, the one we just had. They've been very like stale. And I was like, man, you know what's crazy? Awakening Tiki has been in the top 50 since the beginning. And last year she had like a really strong push. I think she got into like the top 30 or something. I was like, that's kind of cool, Like she would be a dragon, presumably, I'm assuming. Or maybe they'll give her a falchion. I don't know. That'd be kind of sick.
That would be interesting.
Well, like there's a lot that you could do with that. Right? She's not like a mainstay lord, right? She's kind of cool because like we got introduced to her when she was like 1,000-year-old child in Shadow Dragon or something.
Yeah.
And then, more time passed and she just became a sleepy adult dragon who was thousands of years old after that. They could do stuff with her typing, like she could be something kind of like she's the daughter of Naga or something like that.
Yeah.
Like there's stuff you could do with this character that's not just like, because let's be honest, they got a little lazy in Choose Your Legends 4.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was just all 3 houses.
Nothing was very inspired. with their design. Which, I mean, great characters, don't get it twisted, but, you know, the product at the end of the day was kind of like, you know, and now we have their legendary versions, which kind of still look similar. And we're probably going to get 3 Hopes versions that at least they have like glow up hair and stuff, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was like, let's make IS sweat. That's my goal. And
okay.
I was like, something they would have to really work hard on is like an Awakening Tiki thing of this character who has literally started and presumably was supposed to end the franchise when Awakening was like the last game that was gonna be made of Fire Emblem.
Right.
I'm like, that would be kind of cool. Like they could do something with that. And she's had support before. And I was going through in the video, I was like, okay, so Stefan would be great. And then Awakening Tiki is kind of this enigma. And I historically have never really said who I'm voting for in Choose Your Legends. And I do the Phoenix Master thing, where I come out afterwards and show, you know, the ballot and stuff. Because I'm like, I don't think I wield a lot of power when it comes to influencing people. And I choose to maintain that belief because that amount of power is scary. And I'm like, you know what? I've been so detached. I think Choose Your Legends 3 was great. You know, we had Camilla, we had Micaiah, we had Ellawood, we had Alm. That was a great one. I haven't been engaged in Choose Your Legends in like years. Let's try and make something fun happen. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to make propaganda posts for Awakening Tiki. I'm going to make videos about it. I even DM'd Mela Lee, who didn't get back to me. Found out later someone paid her to make a cameo supporting Awakening Tiki for Choose Your Legends. I was like, man, this is nutty. And then they did something they'd never done before. And I think that this was like the primary poll. They came out day 1 results and like gave you the top 8 in no particular order. And I don't think they'd done that before. And I was like, oh, people can see that she's like in the top 8 now. Like maybe that's what we need. And I was just like, you know what? I'm full in. I'm all in. This is what we're doing now. This is my life. And then the interims came out and she was first. And I was like, bro, what even is this? But I think I wanted her because I want IS to try and make an effort. And I feel like even like Martha's cool. Like Brave Martha's pretty dope. He was Red Marth. You know, I think that's a fair critique, even though he was supposed to be like the original Marth before Marth was Marth.
Yeah.
And I think Marianne got a little bit of critique because she wasn't what a lot of players hoped that she would be. And I always try and remind people, like, look, you can vote for who you want, but at the end of the day, you have no say in what they do with that character.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, just don't vote for a character assuming it's going to be like this specific way whenever they do debut. And then the Gatekeeper thing was kind of...
Oh, that was awesome, though, because not only was he an unexpected winner, almost, like, because prior to him, we'd had, like, nothing but Lords and things like that, like, really super popular characters that were basically the main characters in each of their games. So then to get Gatekeeper out of nowhere, like, not only is he not a main character or a Lord, but he's not even, like, an actual playable character. He's just an NPC. So I thought that was really wild, and they made him really good too. So
the Gatekeeper thing was cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't vibing just the art so much. I thought Green Tome was an interesting get, but I think the animations that just had the houses coming through,
yeah,
like you blow a horn and suddenly you have the red eagles just attack, or the black eagles just attacking everybody.
Yeah,
like, that was pretty sick. And we had a Rhea sprite from it, so like naturally, I'm on board with that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the Gatekeeper thing was kind of wild. And I think Brave Erica won in terms of just everything, right? She was like best fodder, best beat 'em up, best zooming unit, like just anything that you wanted her to do. She can do. But yeah, I I wanted them to try harder. that
Yeah,
was that was my goal.
I think they totally did. With Gatekeeper, his artwork rules. Like, every one of his artworks are really good. And then as a unit, he's very different from anything we've seen before, because he has his B skill prevents the enemies from using warp effects like Wings of Mercy and stuff, which are so powerful in the player's hands. He also has this like really good obstruct effect, which is just, I guess, like super obstruct, where he hits the range units a little bit harder and they can't pass through 2 spaces of him. And then his weapon has this really good support effect where he gives the attack and speed up 5 to allies in such a huge radius, 3 rows by 3 columns. He's pretty good to bait because he inflicts attack and res -6 potentially. He stops them from doing a follow-up. Like, this is a really well-designed and awesome unit just from all perspectives. I think they just got it right with this guy.
I mean, he got like 70,000 votes or something, didn't he?
Yeah. He was actually
double.
like, you could combine the votes from Marth and Brave Erica and they wouldn't have amounted to Gatekeeper's votes.
Yeah, that's insane. Like, if he's not playable in 3 hopes, I don't know. I've lost faith in stuff, honestly. Like,
I didn't even think about that. Like, imagine playable Gatekeeper in Fire Emblem 3 hopes. Make that happen, Insys. I want to see that.
I feel like it's gotta, right? DLC or something. Like, that's just money in the bank.
Yeah, for real. Have you played Hyrule Warriors, by the way?
I have. Yeah, I've played, God, what was the first one? I think I played Samurai Warriors 2 or 3 on the Wii.
Okay.
Way back when. And that was my first introductory into the Mosu realm.
Yeah.
But I played both of the Hyrule ones.
Mm-hmm.
I actually 100%ed, what was it? Age of Calamity.
Right, yeah.
When that came out.
Yeah.
Got the DLC for that. That was a riot and a half. Yeah, I've played pretty much all the Nintendo ones and then some of the Samurai Warriors games. Never played a Dynasty Warriors game, though.
Okay, they're very similar. The only Dynasty Warriors game I've ever played was on Game Boy Advance. So, it's probably not the best interpretation of that series, because, of course, you want to play them on the consoles and stuff. But it was just a beat-em-up, like a button mash beat-em-up. So, I had fun with it. And
there was even there was a Pokemon crossover one too. I
think. Yeah, Pokemon Conquest. I actually love that game. That's one of my favorite Pokemon crossover games they've ever done.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, that was Dynasty Warriors, right? Or was
I think so, yeah.
Or was it Samurai Warriors? I can't recall.
I think it was Dynasty Warriors. I'm pretty sure. I think Nobunaga had like a Mewtwo or something.
No, he
crazy.
He had Rayquaza.
Oh, he had. Oh God. Okay. See, I've never played. I watched from afar.
Okay.
Now I'm kind of like, maybe I should go get that.
No, that game actually smacks so hard because it's kind of like like people were calling it Fire Emblem Pokemon at the time because it's like the way you move. It's like grid-based movement and turn-based as well. So you take a turn, then the enemy takes a turn. So, yeah, people were basically saying it was just Pokemon Fire Emblem, and that's why I kind of digged it at the time.
See, these are the crossovers we need. I'm waiting for a Charmander to get into Fire Emblem Heroes. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah. Oh.
People are gonna be mad about that.
Okay. I guess you're the best person to ask about this. Do you think we're ever gonna get a crossover with another IP in Fire Emblem Heroes?
Oh boy. I mean, they barely even acknowledge Tokyo Mirage Sessions, right?
Yeah.
And that's just like half a step away. So,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like probably not. They should. I think that they should.
For sure. Yeah, it would make so much money.
But I don't know. Nintendo is one of those that's like very protective of their IP, right?
Yeah.
And so I think they even stopped doing Heroes crossovers in Dragalia Lost, which is another Nintendo property produced by Cygames.
Uh-huh.
And they did that for like the first 2 years.
And
And they've done a bunch of collabs since, and then they just stopped doing them. Like,
Yeah.
every March, it was expected that we were going to have a Faye collab. And again, that third year, I was like, this is it, boys. We're getting Ike. Ike is coming to Dragalia Lost. And they were just like, nope.
I
was
think,
like, oh, God.
yeah, I think I recall, instead of that, that was for the anniversary, or was it just like some banner they do in March?
For the first 2 years, I don't know. They did Heroes for some reason.
I recall, like, one of the anniversaries, they added the Fairy Girl as one of the summonable playable characters, and a lot of people were kind of happy about that. I think her name is Notes or something.
Yeah.
Like Notte.
Yep.
I don't know how to say it, but they added her as a playable character for one of the anniversaries, and a lot of people were happy about that.
Oh, it's why I think they just announced last night they're adding I can't remember her name, but it's the shop girl.
Oh, okay.
She's getting added now. I think she's starting on the banner in a couple days, and she like revives fallen players.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
What
I
is
mean,
this?
my limited knowledge, I've never played Dragalia Lost at all. I just, once in a while, there may be a trailer up on the Nintendo mobile channel. Like, after I'm watching, like, the Faye vids, I might, like, just for fun, pop on a Dragalia Lost vid to see what's going on in that game, but I have...
Yeah, the music slaps.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good. But, as for the game itself, I have absolutely zero knowledge on how it works or anything. So I shouldn't probably comment on, like, what's good, what's bad, and stuff like that in that game.
Oh my god, dude! I'll be honest with you. I played for like the first 2 years. I was a sweaty gamer when it came to Dragalia Lost.
Okay.
But don't get me canceled on Twitter for this, guys. But like, man, there are some people in that sphere that are just so obsessed with like min-maxing literally everything that if one hit misses in a boss raid, right, within the first like 5 seconds, they will reset. And I'm just like, bro, no. So it was a little too hardcore for me. Like once everything got like mainly co-op based, because that's like the primary way you'd go and get new weapons, and then your might would increase, and yada yada.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bro, I don't have 8 hours a day to keep resetting a single map, and legitimately that's what it became at some point, where I swear a group of us from my Discord was trying to like get through some sort of high dragon trial, and it was like 6 hours, and we got 1 clear.
Wow.
And we got like 3 enhancement mats, and we needed like 130 or something. I was like,
oh my god,
this is so... No.
Yeah.
I'm done. I wasted an entire day on this, guys. Like, I'm out. So yeah, I don't really do a whole lot. I still play it casually. Like, I'm an auto player when it comes to that, which some would argue, like, if you're just going to auto grind the game, are you really enjoying it? In which I would say no. But I like the characters and I like side games, so I do it anyway. But yeah, Dragalia is cool. The music slaps. I got the first anniversary album, which is pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
But beyond that, I don't know. Like, but anyway, Faye Crossover. I don't think it's likely. Like, it would be cool, even if they introduced like other like properties. Like, don't hate on this, all right? But like Zelda, for example, you bring over Zelda, Link, Ganon. Okay, Ganon's a beast unit. Link is a sword unit. Zelda's a tome, like that, or even a bow. I mean, you got your pick, right? That's just kind of like a no-brainer crossover that you could do for like Breath of the Wild 2, for example. Easy. I don't think they'll ever do it though.
Yeah, it kind of like begs the question, why not though? Because I'm fairly sure if they dropped a crossover Zelda banner, it would make so much money for them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, even if you do like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a game very near and dear to my heart. And like the whole driver blade situation you got going on there, that's basically just a duo unit waiting to happen. Like, that would make a lot of sense. I'll never do that. I think Xenoblade's more of a stretch, honestly. I think that game didn't really... That series, rather, didn't gain, like... It was kind of like Fire Emblem, right? Like, it didn't really... It had a following. But until... I would say Three Houses is probably the biggest boost Fire Emblem has seen in terms of, like, fandom support.
Sure.
Just
Well, I mean,
out of nowhere.
I would argue Awakening probably, but Three Houses certainly is like what people want right now, I think.
Yeah, you know what? I will say I had a friend. Or I have a friend. He's still here. Kevin is still with us. Kevin, he liked the idea of Fire Emblem. Could never get into it because of like how deep the games were and like how lore based some parts got and like how long it took to complete the maps. And he's not really a turn based game kind of guy, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, Kevin, play this. And I handed him Fire Emblem Warriors back in the day. And I was like, here you go. You like Samurai Warriors. Play that. And then he played it and he fell in love with the characters. And he was like, so I'm like a Fire Emblem expert now, right? And I was like, bet. And so when Three Houses came out, I was like, okay, literally everybody loves this game.
Yeah.
So I just sent it to him for Christmas one year. And he played it and he loved it. And now he's invested. He won't go back and play the other games.
Yeah.
But he's invested in the series now. And I feel like a lot of newcomers specifically found Three Houses maybe accessible. I don't know why that is, but
if I had to say, it's probably because maybe the school setting kind of does it, because none of the other games had something like that where you actually walk around a map as like a 3D map. Well, okay, maybe Echoes a little bit in the caves, but
kind of, yeah.
Like none of the other Fire Emblem games had a map that you could explore and like find characters in separate parts of the castle during different times of the day, give them gifts at like that's how you recruit them, by sort of like buttering them up with gifts and like sweet talking them to get them on your side and have them join your house and leave their own houses. And also like I guess the characters, the idea of the time skip and like seeing all the characters progress from kids into mature adults and like having to fight them too. Like you go from the castle where everyone's all like pals and buddies, and then in the time skip they're all fighting for their lives and trying to kill each other.
Oh god, dude. I have to so like my first playthrough of Three Houses was I think Crimson Flower.
Okay, same here.
Or Silver Snow, one of the two. It was Black Eagles, because like let's be honest, that's sorry Claude lovers, and Dimitri fans. I'm not here trying to start a war, okay? But like Black Eagles had Dorothea, and that was a priority at the time, okay? So just keeping it real. Mercedes killed Annette in my first playthrough.
Okay.
It was maybe the most heartbreaking thing I had ever experienced in a Fire Emblem game to that point.
Yeah.
Like, having them been, like, literally best friends.
Uh-huh.
Initially, and then, like, oh god, the kill quotes are so sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad. But I think those heart-wrenching moments, right? The parts that make you go, like, oh, I've just been stabbed. Those are great. And I like the fact that like nothing's really black and white in Three Houses. Everything's just kind of perspective based.
Exactly. That's what I love about that game so much, is that you don't really know if you're choosing the right side or the wrong side. You just pick the side that you like the most. It has nothing to do with morals or like this is the one true route, like the golden route that everybody wants. Three Houses doesn't really have that. So it's really just pick whichever team you like the most based on whatever it is, aesthetics or characters or something like that. And then you just fight for that. Like, you're fighting for what you like. And I don't want to get into, like, Star Wars and shit like that, because I hated The Last Jedi because of that stupid quote that, what's her name does, the Asian girl, she says, we're fighting for what we love or something, and then... I don't know. I hated that quote, and I hated that movie, so I feel like such a shill for using that quote to equate to Three Houses, but I'm just saying, like, that's one of the selling points to Three Houses, is that you don't know if you're doing the right thing. You're just choosing based on your favorites and going with that.
Yeah, and you don't know at the time either. You're just like, oh, I'm gonna teach some kids. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I had no idea a decision I made in the first 20 minutes would dictate the entire outcome of my playthrough 28 hours later.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's good. I like it for that aspect. Where like all the other Fire Emblems have been fairly like formulaic.
Right.
Like
So,
there's a little variation, but you're gonna kill Grima at the end of Awakening.
Yeah,
like, that's how it is.
Let me give you an example. So every Fire Emblem game, you can just boil down to the same thing. So Prince goes on a journey. There's a war, like some evil king out of nowhere in one of the distant countries. A king becomes evil, and he starts a war. So Prince sets out to find friends and defeat the evil king. And then halfway along the way, Prince's parents end up getting killed. So then he promotes into king from Prince, and then he goes to slay the evil big bad. And there's probably a dragon somewhere behind the scenes. So get rid of the dragon, and then all is well. That's the story in every Fire Emblem. Well,
I have no idea which game you were talking about just now. I was like, wait, is this Shadow Dragon? No. This is Path of Radiance. Wait, no, is this Awakening? No. What's happening here?
Okay, the one time they threw a curveball was in 8, where it's not a dragon, it's a demon. That's like the only difference.
Yeah. Which, I mean, more of that, please.
Yeah, for real. I actually like Fomortis. I think he's an interesting concept, as opposed to just doing a dragon every time. You get a demon lord. That was pretty awesome.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I love the concept of Sacred Stones. I wish we had more support for that game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's also the only game one of the only games that didn't get a sequel game. So
right.
I think it might be about time to get a Magvel Part 2. Just saying.
It's like the least Fire Emblem game is what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah. And
it feels bad thinking like that.
It had a lot of good concepts too. Fire Emblem 8 introduced the branching promotions and then the creature campaign with the actual map where you could walk around that was like done in a lot of future games like Awakening and stuff.
It had the tower too, right?
Oh, dude, the Tower of Volney and the Lagdo Ruins, I feel like those could be really good modes in Fire Emblem Heroes, because, Fire Emblem 8 has a whole bunch of demon enemies, like you fight the Cyclopses and the Cerberuses and the Gargoyles and stuff. Why not have a mode in Fire Emblem Heroes where we're fighting the monsters? Like, wouldn't that be cool? Like, something like Lagdo Ruins or Tower of Volney, you go in and you pick your squad and you fight through mobs and mobs of like monster enemies as you climb the tower and get better rewards. Maybe even make it like co-op or something, because I feel like they could probably handle co-op now that they have real-time PvP. How fun would that be? Like, you hop into a map with your friends and you're fighting a bunch of monsters, like mobs and mobs of monsters just endlessly spawning, and you just try to get as high as you can in the tower.
Yep. I have produced a video talking about that very concept, actually. It's not out yet. So you guys will have to wait. But it's basically like, endless tower mode. And oddly enough, I thought of this before the new Warriors game got announced. But it's like, in Warriors, you just keep getting mobs of enemies out. They just keep respawning, right?
Yeah.
And then, the co-op aspect,
Uh-huh.
right? Because, like, we have real-time PvP right now, which I don't know how everyone feels about Summoner Duels, but I think after 2 hours, I kind of have my fill for a month, And so
yeah.
having some kind of co-op mode would be pretty poggers, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that feels to me the final evolution for Faye. Like, let me take my characters that I have wailed for recklessly and help other people destroy everything. Like, that's what I wanted. I want to use my whaley powers for good sometimes,
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I think a co-op mode would hit pretty hard in this game, where we buddy up with maybe like 3 other friends, so it's 4 people on the map, and then you climb a tower with endless mobs. Like I said, I think the monster enemies from 8 and Echoes would probably be the best fit for that, because that also gives us more sprites to work with and more animations, which are always nice. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good place to wrap. Honestly, we've gone on for just about an hour here, so
Did we even play Ether Raids? I don't remember.
Yeah, the fights were not really all that big of a deal. We managed to get through those pretty easily, so I was going to ask you a little bit about Summoner Duels, but to be honest, I feel like that's probably not your thing, to be honest, and it's not a lot of people's thing either. I was more a fan of the casual Summoner Duels mode where you could set your own rules and things like that. It wasn't really like a competitive mode. You just played it for the fun of it. Whereas... Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't really like... Okay, so I liked Summoner Duels. I like the idea of it. And I got Micaiah up to 1k favor.
Okay.
Legendary Micaiah specifically. And then I played the Book 3 and back mode.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yo, this is actual fire. Like, this is so much better.
Yeah.
So I really like that version more. But the problem is, like, I have the hardest time getting matched up against people, like, when it's off-season.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. I was thinking, like, for right now, they only have Book 3 and Prior. What if they did Book 2 and Prior and then Book 1 and Prior? How awesome would Book 1 and Prior competitive be? That would actually slap, because the refines aren't that spectacular. The units have been out forever. Like, they're very easy to merge at this point because a lot of them were demoted. I feel like Book 1 and Prior would actually be the tits if they added that to this mode.
Oh, dude, Reinhardt would be king. He'd be everywhere.
Magic is ever... The memes would just come full force back in action there.
And didn't his JP voice actor commentate on the Summoner Duels things for the Japan version?
I think so, yeah.
When they debuted that too? That's perfect. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay, so I guess that's as good a place as any to wrap. Definitely check out KCB Brian. There's going to be a link to his channel in the description of this video. I'm sure you guys already know who he is, but just in case you don't, definitely check him out and show him some love. And KCB, thanks so much, man, for being on and giving us your takes. I think the viewers definitely enjoyed it, and I certainly did myself. We had a lot to talk about there.
Yeah, no, thanks for getting me on. I love just, talking about stuff. So
yeah,
this was nice. I enjoyed it, and I feel like we got to talk about a lot of different stuff too, which is great. I'm sorry I never answered the initial question of what's coming in February for new heroes.
It's cool. It's cool. I mean,
but I will guess Valentia for you all who were curious about that like an hour ago. That's my guess.
Okay. All right, and not Valentian Est, by the way, right? You don't think they're gonna do that to complete the trio with the White Wings?
No, we gotta wait like 3 more years for that.
Okay, all right.
But that's coming.
I'm gonna hold you to that, okay? So
okay, fair enough.
If we get Valentian Est, I'm coming for you.
Hey, look, Bride Pal is coming in May, so I'm ready.
All right, so that's all for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, fellas, and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.
See you, everybody.